Sugar Spice and Everything Uncensored with me, Amira. It is Thursday, so let's hop into it. The spirit of jealousy and envy, it reeks, it stinks, and it has an odor. That's how I view it. It's something that can't be hidden for too long. Just like green moldy mildew. That's how I view it. So at some point, a person is either housing or influenced by the spirit of jealousy and envy. And just like in a house that has mold that hasn't been yet detected, at some point, because it's been undetected for so long, by the person housing and influenced by the spirit, and maybe the people and the person they're engaging with, by the time it's detected, it's infestation and it's contaminated. That is why it's important to always ask God to check your heart, because that spirit, moldy mildew, it contaminates everything it touches, and it starts by contaminating the person's perception, their mindset. So in influencing them here and internalizing lies, all these outside little voices and whispers far off from reality, and internalize, and they project it onto the object of their disdain or discomfort or whoever is triggering their unresolved internal battle. And I say this because it's really sad when you really think about it, because a person that is operating out of jealousy and envy does not even realize they are bound and shackled by the spirit of shame. The spirit of shame tells them, and in denial, that if somebody else is the problem, or they'll look and try to zoom into the other person to find a flaw versus zooming in on their heart. It's sad, really. That thing will go from influencing you to now it being housed in you, to now it riding you and running you off the road and derailing your whole life's purpose and destiny. When we pray, and when you pray, and you pray and you plead and you petition and you have hopes and you have aspirations and motivation, and you're telling God, I want this to happen in my life, and I want to, be like this and be this, and God will test your heart first. And a lot of times, folks don't be catching what is thrown their way. They don't be catching the motivation. They don't be catching the inspiration. They don't catch the idea. They don't catch it. The strategy. God is throwing it in the air, and they're like, that's when you know that spirit is operating them. They don't catch it. It fell on the ground. All them seeds thrown there fell on the ground. So God only can grow someone to what they're exposed to. And oftentimes when a person is battling with that spirit of jealousy and envy, God will try to expose to the person what they're dealing with that's holding up what they're asking for. And a lot of times, because the person is wrestling with shame, and instead of just let me see the ugliest parts of myself that's having me project and be like toxic and have all these vain, delusional imaginations about people that you should be influenced, inspired, and motivated, is quite the opposite. So God can't really bring you to what you're asking, because to get to something, you have to be exposed to it. So when I see someone in a position of life that I'm striving to, or they have something that I'm striving to get for myself, I don't want what they got. I want my own. A lot of folks be missing that test, unfortunately. God will bring them in close proximity to what they want to experience, see, and witness in their own life. God will make you a witness to somebody else around you to see motivation and inspire and be reassured. It's never about the person that has the blessings. It's never about them. It's about your heart posture and you and God. And seeing that and saying, dang, if God can do it for them, it should always point you back to God, not the person, not you saying, oh, they think they better, or they switched up, and all this weird behavior, weird stuff under the influence, drunk off pride, envy, and shame. It's sad, because the very thing will have the person going around the mountain again, going around, and then they confuse, and then they're sitting here, God, or I don't feel like they should have it and I should have it, and God's like, I threw the idea your way. I threw the motivation, the inspiration for you to see me in another person's life, you to witness So you could be a witness in your own life when God starts to turn the thing around. It's crazy. It's insane. And then it sabotages all the momentum and motion and the strides and the effort you make when God puts you on the scale to test your heart in real time. In real time. How do you act when you're exposed to people who have good health? How do you act when you're exposed to people who have a healthy marriage? How do you react to people who have financial freedom? How do you react to someone with bold confidence in themselves and love themselves and love on their body and take care of themselves? How do you react to someone with true internal confidence? How do you react to someone with a car that you may like or may want? How do you react to somebody who has a child and you may want a child? How do you react to someone who has a dog and you may want a dog? How do you react? And the list goes on of so many ideas that only you would know on your walk with you're standing and you're working towards. Don't let that beast have you bound and shackled and you not catch the idea and you not be a witness so you could be a witness in your own life. That's what really be like throwing me for a loop. Oftentimes I ask God, why did this person do this to me? Or why did they say that? Why did I only try to show love and this and this and this? And I'm glad God let me be on the receiving end of jealousy and envy time and time and time and time and time after again, from work level to friendship to family to strangers, so that I can really sharpen my discernment and I can really understand is more to it than just what's operating at the surface, and to move accordingly. And now there used to be gullible, naive me. Don't do that no more. I take everybody and put them at the feet of the Father and let God let me know, is this person a person I don't know, because you know their heart. Because some people, when they get in proximity to others who are trying to live a life of freedom, like I said in the last video, they want to clip wings, they want to zoom in and try to inspect and try to find a fault, to devalue, to make them feel comfortable about themselves. They just spiral out because now it's not an influence. You're housing a spirit. Now you let that thing just ride you. And it didn't ride you off your path to destiny. And it didn't roll you out of the space of you being a witness to other people. God will put you in proximity because you can only grow to what you're exposed to. And this is part 1. Part 2, I'll give an example. But this is part 1. Peace.